Hello everybody, here is Christian Lamitschka for Country Music News International, and today on the show we have one of the most respected person here in country music city Nashville. It's Colene Walters. Colene, welcome back to Country Music News International.
Well, thank you. It's good to see you again. It's been 2 years since we spoke last.
Oh yeah, it's so long time.
I know.
I thought it was yesterday.
I know, me too. It's so good to see you, and thank you for having me.
Colene, the last time we met each other, I remember you had something big running, a big running project, and I believe we forgot to talk about it.
We did, and I want to thank Joe Pickering for setting up this interview. And there was a song that Peter Prince, a friend of mine from New Jersey, wrote about Captain Sully, about the Hudson River plane crash. And he wrote a great song. And around that time, it was several months before our last interview, they had the movie coming out that Clint Eastwood was directing. And we tried everything to try to get the song in the movie. It didn't happen, but it's a great song. And you know, for some reason I cannot think of the title right now because it was a few different titles. Miracle on the Hudson, that's what it was. And so I just wanted to kind of give a shout out about that because it is a great song, and Peter Prince is a great writer. And Joe Pickering from King of the Road Music in Maine set this up, and I just wanted to mention about that song. And you can find it on YouTube under Colene Walters, Miracle on the Hudson. Yeah.
So Colene, what happens to you since the last time we met each other?
Well, the last time we spoke, I have been still touring the country, and mostly in the East Coast area, Cape Cod and all that. And I'm not sure if we spoke about this last time, but I'm also a Patsy Cline tribute artist. And now I am having a new revised show traveling the country, and with the help of Buck Ford, which is Tennessee Ernie Ford's son, and the wonderful Carol Murphy, who is an author and a musician. She's worked with Roy Clark and a bunch of other great artists. So we're getting ready to do the big production of it, and we just did a show a couple months ago at the Nashville Palace in Nashville. And I've been doing that, and I'm getting ready to record a record. I don't know if they still call it a record, but a record.
Well, we all know what it is. We grew up with it.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, I have been performing since I was 17 years old, and I have never had my own project. I've done single songs. I've done the Grand Ole Opry, as you know, and I worked in a few different vocal groups, but I've never really had my own project that was mine. And so I'm excited about that. And let's see what else is going on. Been doing a little bit of writing, and yeah, just kind of sticking around Nashville. Oh, and doing a lot of session work. I play harmonica. I'm not sure if we spoke about that. And so when I'm in town, I do demos and recordings for a lot of writers, and play harmonica if needed. And just did a few last week actually at County Q in Nashville. So just keeping busy with the music.
Wow. Yeah. So sounds like you have no spare time.
No, actually I do, and I'm so glad that you got a hold of me and to do this interview. And this has actually been a very, very busy week for me. I have a couple other things happening with a company out of New England, actually. And so I don't know if I want to talk about it yet because I don't want to jinx it, you know, but I just you know, just being happy and sticking around in the music business in Nashville, and I'm a grandmother, so I have a couple grandsons I spend a lot of time with, and so yeah, but I have been very busy.
Colene, by the last time we were talking, probably most times just about the music business, and we had a lot of requests by our readers and listeners. They are interested in what you're doing in such a lot of things which have nothing to do with the music business. So they want to know what's your favorite movie, the most important book to you, and all that stuff, which shows up the personality about you.
You know, honestly, I really enjoy reading inspirational and positive books. My dad was a very special man in Detroit, Michigan, where I'm from, and he was a counselor for drugs and alcohol. And when he passed away, and then my mother passed away, I collected their library, which was a lot of inspirational and about personalities and this and that. And I love reading that. And as far as movies, I love true stories and biographies. Yeah, I usually don't watch a lot of TV, but I do like to rent some movies on true stories and biographies and finding out about people and their lives, whether it's music or acting or anything. Yeah, so that's a big interest for me.
What was the best or most interesting discussion for you, which was in the spotlight of the public?
What was what was that
The
again?
most interesting discussion.
Discussion in public?
Yeah.
Discussion or
Conversation about an interesting
conversation?
point.
There was so many when I did work on the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
And I've had many people ask me to write a book about it. And good thing I did make some notes. And I had a friend that was running around taking pictures of me when I did a lot of television and all at that time. Oh gosh, I would just, there's just so many. I honestly can't think of anything. But one thing that does come to mind that was very special to me, years ago, I had this vision from Detroit, Michigan, that I was going to sing on the Grand Ole Opry before my 30th birthday.
Yeah.
And so when I was 29, I was singing on the Grand Ole Opry, and Porter Wagner, of course, knew it was my birthday, and he asked everybody in the audience to sing me happy birthday. So this is something I like to talk about because I didn't realize it, but when it happened, I was like, wow, I thought about this years ago. So yeah, I would say that was something that I like to talk about because it was a vision I had that happened. And so yeah, and hopefully if I write that book, there'll be a lot of discussions in there about my experiences at the Grand Ole Opry.
So, will it be an inside or outside story then, the book?
It's going to be, I would say, more inside and outside, and it's not one of those tell-alls because around that time in my life, everything was really great, and it was a family to me, and just interesting stories. And I think a couple of them we talked about in the last interview. Just being a girl from Detroit, Michigan, and being around all these great country legends, who a lot are passed on now. And being a part of their luncheons and dinners and backstage and just a lot of great stories that I think people might be interested in.
So, do you have any thoughts about retirement?
No.
No,
Never.
that comes in the second.
No, I mean, people have asked me that question as well. And I have been doing this for a lot of years. Since I was 17 years old, and I'm years old now. But no, I feel that being a singer, I feel that's who I am. When someone that I haven't seen or asked me a question, oh, do you sing? Do you still sing? Of course I still sing. So I don't feel like I'm ever going to retire with singing. If the good Lord's willing, I'm going to continue singing and doing what I love to do. So.
Seems to be you will be on stage for the next 20, 30 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, Dolly Parton said once that even when she's in her 80s or 90s, they wheel her out on a show, she's going to be wearing those high heels and still singing. So I can relate to that.
I thought Dolly Parton stops getting older.
You thought what?
I thought Dolly Parton will not getting older.
Yeah, she's just fantastic, I'll tell you.
Looks like 50.
I know, she's amazing. I remember when I met her, the first time I met her, she's exactly what you see on interviews. She's just that bubbly, squeaky. I don't know if that's a good word, but she's kind of squeaky. But it's all good. She's exactly like that.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
not so many. I believe the most people who are one-to-one in life and on stage are the most of them coming from the old guys.
Yes.
That's my opinion, what I see. Of course, I believe you remember Billy Walker.
Yes.
Billy was my first live Nashville interview.
Yes.
And he was a smart guy. And
Yes.
he was definitely like how he was on stage and behind the stage and
Exactly.
private at home.
he was one of my favorite people. I mean, I love all the opera singers and performers, but Billy Walker was definitely one of my favorite, and exactly what you just said. Because I remember when I started at the Opry and working with him, and he was very kind. He talked to me a lot, and I was just like, wow, it's Billy Walker, you know. And I saw him outside of the Opry, and it was he was very conscientious. He remembered my name, and of course I met his wife, and both of them were just amazing people. Yeah. And then another thing too, I'm not sure if I talked about this last time, but oh darn, Jim Ed Brown. He would have luncheons at his house and have all the Opry singers come there and just kind of hang out as friends. And I just remember Billy Walker was just, he always stood out to me, always stood out to me. But yeah, what a great man, and he is sadly missed, definitely. Yeah.
So, Colene, what's the best way now for all your fans to keep up to date with you?
Well, actually, I am pretty new to Instagram. I know that's kind of been the thing now. I'm still on Facebook. I have a Colene Walters, it's spelled Colene, and Walters, and I have actually another thing too, that I opened a booking agency.
Oh,
yeah. So thank you, 615 Attractions, and yeah, I'm working with other artists and getting them out there because the last 14, 15 years I've been booking myself. And so 615 Attractions, I have 3 different sites. When you go to when you Google my name, they all will come up. And Instagram is a little new to me. I'm still trying to learn that. I'm not on Twitter, but I would say Instagram, Facebook, and then my websites.
Okay, you should have to be on Twitter, because I think Twitter is bigger than Instagram. That's just on my opinion.
Yes, exactly. And I should do that. Yeah, I should look into that more.
So, folks, you know what to do now. Follow her on Instagram. She is probably on Facebook too, what I remember, because she's on my buddy list.
And Twitter soon, now that you said that.
Hope so. So, folks, stay here with us on Country Music News International. Sign up to our newsletter. We keep you up daily, posted. I hope that was not too much Jinglish. And have a great day here from Nashville, Tennessee. Your Christian Lamitschka.